recording. Okay, let's get the gloves on. So, well, here I am in a car park somewhere near Enfield, and I'm going to make my way to the Butcher's Hook. Just picked this bike up from JW Enfield. Don't go starting up the engine, but hey, got a quick look through. Okay, let's have a look actually. So, nice and clear. Let's go. Okay, so as the eagle-eyed people watching this video will know, the Rode wireless has let me down, so I have to pre-record this at home. So I'm just going to run through a few basic things that I experienced on the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. So absolutely amazing bike. The first thing I noticed on this bike, or a couple of things I noticed on this bike, was that the seat wasn't very thick. So on short journeys, which is what I was doing on the day, absolutely suitable. But if you're going to go a long journey, you know, after a couple of hours, I would say you're going to get a numb bum. The other thing I noticed, which is a positive, is that the changing gear was absolutely amazing. Just as you changed, there was no clunk there at all. It was just really quite smooth. So that was very noticeable straight from the off. So I'm travelling through, I've just passed Butcher's Hook near Heathfield, and I'm on my way to a place called Burwash in Kent, and you know, I'm observing the speed limit as you normally do. Obviously obstructions there, but you know, the bike seems very manoeuvrable, as you can see, and I'm looking for some twisties which you'll see, and I'm gonna sort of ride the bike as much as I can. I've got a sort of a time limit of about 40 to 45 minutes, although in hindsight I did overrun, which they weren't, you know, they were quite nice about. There was someone waiting to actually test ride this after me, but that was a walk-in, I was told. The people at JW Groom Bridge in Heathfield, absolutely amazing people, very helpful. Very informative, and yeah, they were just looking to obviously to sell me the bike. As I said, you know, later on in the video, would I buy this bike? Definitely on my radar, 100%. 650, not too powerful, but then, you know, it's not a bike to go speeding along the motorway with. You know, it's just one of those bikes where you can cruise around the twisties and cruise around the countryside, and even take it into town. You know, it's just as you can see, it's very manoeuvrable, very lightweight as well, which I found. So yeah, just enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Like I say, I've mentioned before, originally I wanted to take out the Continental 650 or GT, I should say, but it wasn't available. They didn't have one in store for me to try out that day. But who knows? Maybe in the future I will try out one. And I've been told they're very quite similar rides to it. But I think when you'll see later on in this video that the Continental is just a bit more superior to the Interceptor. But that's my take on it. As I said, if you want to sort of make a comment, you know, and obviously like this video and subscribe, that's entirely, you know, your choice. But I just want you to sit back and just enjoy this video. I had an amazing day on it. It was a beautiful day for it. You know, the start switch, as you can see on the right side there, it's a bit unusual. I've never used that before. So you just obviously turn the ignition on and then slide it to the right, and it just starts up. But as you can see, I had a bit of a problem with the Insta360 selfie stick. But you know, that's one of those things. But it's a very basic bike. You know, the suspension, the rear suspension, as I found out later on, is Royal Enfield's own suspension. They look like Öhlins shocks, rear shocks, but they're not. I mean, the guy said to me jokingly, he said you could put a sticker on it and pass it as Öhlins, but I've got Öhlins rear shocks and I wouldn't do that. Definitely not. The brakes look like Brembo brakes, but they are a sister company. I forgot what he said. I'll try and put it up on the screen. What he said. It's a company that actually split from Brembo. There's two people that started up the company, but yeah, they split. So the other guy called it something or other. Now it's based on or being fitted to the Royal Enfield, most of the Royal Enfields, I should say. But yeah, I'm going to pull over and find a nice place to give it a good review. This bike, I actually enjoyed it. It's such a pleasant ride, very manoeuvrable, as I said. Easy to change those gears. I mean, if you ever jump on one of these and change gears, you'll know. The majority of bikes I've been on, the Norton, the CCM Spitfire, and my bike, the Bonneville, and even the Speed Twin that I've ridden. When you change gears, as some of you will know, they clunk. You know you're in gear. But here, as I think I mentioned, the dials, the twin dials are quite nice. They're really sort of retro looking. Obviously, it's going to give you all sorts of information, but it only tells you when you're in neutral. It doesn't tell you if you're in first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth, I should say. But yes, so as you can see, I'm stuck behind traffic. They're all scared to overtake this cyclist. Good luck, sir. Anyway, so yeah, just enjoy this video, as I said, and let me know what you think. So here's the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. It has a 2-cylinder 4-stroke inclined engine, which is air-cooled. The torque is 52.3 Newton meters with 47 horsepower. The air fuel capacity is about 13.7 litres, and weight-wise, it's 217 kilograms. Now, it comes in various colours. As you can see, this one's in like a burgundy colour, a single colour, which I think goes at about 6,199 British pounds, that is. There is a chrome version, which is quite nice, and that ranges from 6,699, that's top of the range. It also comes in a dual colour, so which is 6,399. But there's colours as well that I've not seen on the road at the moment, which is called a Black Ray and a Barcelona Blue, which both come in at 6,599. A couple of little things I'm not really keen on at the moment in this bike is the actual Pirelli tyres. I've had experiences with these tyres, and for me they're not very grippy, but that's my personal experience. Now the rear shocks, I'm not sure, they obviously they look like Öhlins, but they're not, clearly they're not. And the brakes are, don't know what they are either. I put a little thing up on, see if I can find out what they actually are. Go back to the dealership and find out what the actual rear shocks are made of, or who makes them, I should say. So it started off, I think, as a British motorcycle, but they're made in India. Well, started to be made up in India, and they're owned by a company called Eicher Motors. That's the parent company of Royal Enfield, whose HQ is in New Delhi, which was founded in 1948. But they are manufactured here in the UK, in Redditch, in Worcestershire. So yes, I mean, initially I wanted to try out the Continental GT 650, which, as I'm led to believe, it's a very similar ride to this bike. You know, I love the exhausts on this bike, absolutely beautiful. That trumpet sort of looking bike, got a centre stand. So yeah, it's a very nice bike, lovely to control, easy to change the gears, and I quite like it. Dual clocks on there. Let's have a quick look at the clocks. The only thing on there for me, it shows you when you're in neutral, obviously. Let's put it on, let's have a quick look, shall we? Yeah, it says it's in neutral. but it doesn't show you whether it's in first, second, third or fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. It doesn't, but it's got your mileages on there, it's got your fuel. The mirrors are quite nice, although I'm used to bar end mirrors, so you know, if I was to buy this bike I could change it up slightly. So have a little listen to the sound. Let's just turn this on. It's quite easy, so it's quite unusual, the system for turning on this motorbike. Let's have a little listen, shall we? Very nice. I love the sound of that engine for a small bike. I'll just turn it off for you. There we go. Don't upset the wildlife now, do we? As I say, the only thing I would change on this bike as well is the seat, because it's very sort of narrow, the seat. It's quite nice to sort of plant your feet down when you're at the lights or when you're stationary. But for me, I'd want a bit more padding on that seat, especially if I'm doing long distances. So, as I say, yeah, hope we enjoy this little walk around with this bike. I quite enjoy riding it. It's a lovely little bike. I would have preferred to take out the Continental GT 650, but unfortunately it wasn't available. Never mind, maybe next time.